All I wanted was to go fishing with my friends. I hadn't seen them in so long, and COVID practically makes it impossible for us to travel to each other. But in a stroke of luck and coincidence, we all managed to get a week off and met up at my place in Florida. We were all excited, so happy to be able to catch up. I mean, shit. My buddy was getting married. Needless to say, this time was important for all of us. I just wish we hadn't gone near those stairs. We met each other days ago in Jacksonville. I live on the beach. We have a boat docked a few minutes away from my house. It's a fairly nice vessel, nothing special, but she gets the job done. We went to a few local restaurants the first day, did a lot of drinking, then the next morning, packed her up with beer, food, and fishing supplies, and we set off. It was a beautiful day. The sun shining in the middle of a clear blue sky, the wind gently billowing in our hair as we sat and drank and fished. We caught up on each other's lives. My buddy's marriage proposal, my other buddy getting his doctorate. There were 4 of us in total, and everything was going great. Until suddenly, the boat hit something none of us could see. We jerked upright, and my friend Doms peered over the side of the boat to see what we hit. He turned back to us, speechless, motioning frantically to see what we had found. Me and my other 2 friends, David and Ben, quickly joined him, and in front of us was a staircase. A staircase leading into the darkness of the water. The water was parted, almost as if it was protected by a tunnel made of glass. Water was splashing around, and no water actually got inside. Stairs were completely dry, and it looked as though they were made of stone. Strange glyphs and inscriptions carved in each one. None of us recognized any of the symbols. At first, we couldn't take our eyes off of it. Ben was the first to find his voice. He said that we should leave, that something didn't feel right about it. Maybe it's one of those installations, like an optical illusion, he said quickly. Maybe there's a hidden camera somewhere. We looked around. We didn't see anything for miles. Miles of ocean. In hindsight, I couldn't even recall us going out that far away from the shore. No way, Dave replied. There's nothing out here, just us. Maybe we should go, Dom said, picking up a beer. I want to see something. Before any of us could protest, he lobbed the beer down the staircase. It tumbled down, echoing the whole way. Kept going until we couldn't hear it anymore. We tried a flashlight, but the darkness was just too absolute. We couldn't see anything other than more stairs, descending into the depths. This is insane, I said. I just can't wrap my fucking head around it. It looks like they go on forever. We all nodded, still unable to take our eyes off them. When we could finally pull ourselves away, the sun was setting. Dave checked his phone, and it was dead. In fact, all our electronic devices, our phones, our speakers, were all out of battery. I checked the analog clock I had on board, and it read 6:48 p.m. When I told them the time, they couldn't believe it. We came out here at around 9 in the morning, right? Ben asked. I'm fucking nervous, man. We shouldn't be here. I mean, how has that much time passed? Yeah, I don't feel good either. Like, my stomach's full. We haven't eaten. Hell, I only had like 2 beers, some toast before we came out. My stomach's going wild. Dave let out a groan. We should just head back. We all nodded. But I grabbed the coordinates from my GPS just in case. Thankfully, the boat was working fine, and I managed to pull us away from the staircase, but not before bumping into something else as we pulled away. We reasoned it was probably just another part of the staircase structure. I mean, hell, we could have stumbled upon some sort of massive underwater building or something. We brushed it off and set the GPS back to the dock, and made our way silently back to shore. Man, my stomach's fucking killing me, Dave groaned. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I had some bad toast, Ben joked. You should... Before he could finish his sentence, Dave was throwing up into the ocean. It went on like this for a while, up until we got to the shore, and then some. When we docked, Ben went over to pick up our food cooler, and noticed there was a putrid smell coming from it. We opened it up, and all the sandwiches we brought were covered in a thin layer of blue and black mold. The smell of it was almost too much to handle. Man! I let out an exasperated sigh. I was excited to eat that. What the hell happened? The whole thing's weird, Ben said. Maybe the food was a bit bad when you packed it? No way, I replied. I'd never... Hey, guys? Dave's voice weakly called from where he was throwing up in a trash can on the dock. I think something's wrong. We all looked at each other and quickly walked over to him. Black liquid mixed with bile was all over his mouth and shirt. He was swaying back and forth like he was drunk. His eyes were puffy and a bit bloodshot like he'd been crying. Oh shit! Dom handed him a bottle of water and he began washing the fluid from his face. What happened? I don't know, Dave said. I feel a bit better now. I think I just need to sleep. Can we go home, please? Yeah, man. Let's pack a car and get out of here. Shit, I'm sorry. I got some medicine back at my place. That'll probably be helpful. Yeah. Dave simply replied. I think I just need some sleep. You sure we shouldn't take you to the hospital? Ben asked. No, I'm fine. Dave's voice was a bit strange, like he was far away. I just need sleep. The car ride home was uneventful, and Dave ended up passing out before we even got back to my house. We helped him into the shower, and he went to bed shortly afterward without saying anything. We just chalked it up to him getting seasick, and put on a movie while Doms and I smoked. Eventually, our appetites returned and we ordered some pizza, briefly discussing the strange things that happened. It would be our luck, right? Ben said, biting into a slice of pizza. That was weird shit. What happened right when we finally get some time off to relax? Yeah. Dave seems okay, though. Thank God, I said, grabbing another slice. We'll do something a bit more low-key tomorrow. There's a bunch of dope museums around here. The art district's packed on Saturdays. We ended up chatting for a little bit more before we started to pass out, and moved to our respective places in the house. I don't usually remember my dreams, but this time I couldn't stop thinking about the staircase for some reason. In my dream, I was swimming towards it, but the water was thick, like ink. And as I pulled myself up to the mouth of the stairs, I felt a warmth, gently calling me forward. Before I went any further, I was shaken awake by Ben at around 5 in the morning. Yeah, what? What? I wiped sleep from my eyes. Dude, what's going on? It's so early. Dave's gone, Ben said quietly. I shot up from my bed. What the fuck do you mean Dave's gone? I mean, I went to drop off a glass of water by his bed, since he looked like shit and all. Ben motioned for me to get up. I'll show you. I followed him to my guest room. Ben stood awkwardly in front of it, motioning for me to open the partially cracked door. The first thing I noticed was the smell. The sheets on the bed were caked with yellow and black bile, and there were bits of blood dotted around the pillow. Resting on the bedside table was a singular tooth. What the fuck? I said as I left the room, unable to take the smell any longer. What the fuck? Where's Dom? Asleep on the couch. Fuck. Maybe he went to the hospital. Should we call them? I did, Ben said nervously. Nobody with his name checked in. Nobody matched his description I gave. Fuck. I rubbed my temples. Okay, fuck. Fuck, did you call his phone? It's dead. Jesus Christ. You can't catch a break. I'll go back to my room. I left my wallet and phone in the car by accident last night. Let me get that. We'll think of what to do next. Can you wake up Doms? Tell him what happened. Yeah. I went back to my room to grab my keys I had put on my bedside table, but I couldn't find them anywhere. I tore my room apart before resigning to defeat, plucking my spare form from the underside of my mattress, but when I got outside to get my things, the car wasn't there anymore. I stood for a few moments completely speechless before retreating back inside. Now we're silently around the kitchen table, the three of us, speechless as to what just happened. Dave would never do something like this, especially without telling anyone. Needless to say, we aren't sure what to do next. The only thing we are sure of is that we all dreamt of those stairs last night. Hey there, kids. It's me, MrCreepyPasta. I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to tonight's story or watching tonight's video. And if you guys would like to see more or hear more, then I'd appreciate it if you click that subscribe button. Or if you're listening on the podcast, then click the follow button. We're moving into spring, which means that it's getting warmer, some places. And also, that means that it's probably good for you guys to get a nice tall glass of iced tea. And if you've been here before, then you know that my wife sells things like tea. So yeah, check out Ivory Monocle Tea. It's etsy.com/shop/ivorymonocle tea. And as always, I want to give a big thank you to all you guys who support on Patreon, patreon.com/MrCreepyPasta, especially Jacob Shaffer, Jay, Zach, Jordan Alexander Sanchez, Ken Lando Higuchi, Bobby Karman, Tristain Pelton, Chase Burnett, Diana Kraus, Katrina Beisel, Kayden the Spooky Boy, Zane Nightshade, MyBodySoundsLikeRiceKrispys, AshWood, Lord of the Weebs, Miss Xandra, MrUnsettlingSpaghetti, Eurogore, Tsuji Campbell, Marco Takes Dabs 420, Stricken, Azurine Fox, Robert White, Andreas Garza, Snails Burnett, Legit Quad Feed, Fried Chicken 12, James Bruce, Chris Levin, Freddie Krueger, Ty Nanny, Justin Johnson, 1-800-Nightmare, Unknown Nobody, Michael Scarborough, Jason Wilson, Infernal One, James Lowe, Lisa Cottrell, Jimbo the Hutt, Caspian, Jordan Nels, Hades' Nephew, Tater Chip, Acid System, Prozac and Pancake Appreciation Society, Brian Arse, Cryptic Nightmares, Brennan Wright, Someone You Love, S-Man, Kiwi the Sloth, Liam Newman, Sky Harbor, Caleb Dougal, Nina Smith, Nico Kyle, Rafael Rodriguez, The Ginger Bros, Aaron Stormcrow, Talon Karlik, Daniel Polson, Trace Miles, and Corey Kenshin. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, and if you guys would like to join them on the list of people's names I mispronounce, you can always do so at patreon.com/MrCreepyPasta, as well as all those fine people in the description down below who help support this channel and keep the lights on and give treats to Hylas and Hercules. You guys, as always, are the real MVPs, and I love and appreciate every single one of you who support there, or just support anywhere by watching and subbing. So good night, everybody, and sweet dreams.